Narcissists are people, and I don't believe that there's any like real true definition for a narcissist because it's something that cannot be changed by like a pill. Narcissism is something that once somebody has, in my opinion, I don't believe that they can change unless they mentally, physically, and emotionally want to make the change for themselves. And usually they don't, because the one thing that narcissists like is control. Narcissists and narcissistic people become the way that they are because of many different factors. Sometimes it's trauma, psychological neglect, invalidation. They've been invalidated from what they believe or their own opinions in their life. And because of all of these moments of invalidation and psychological damage and distress and trauma, and because of all these things summing up into one thing, they choose and do not allow themselves to sit with that or deal with it or take responsibility for the way that they're being. So instead of taking responsibility, instead of learning how to express and deal with their emotions in a, I can't even say positive way, but in a more reasonable way, they project it and abuse and take it out on anybody and anything that is around them. People on the opposite side, this can end up leading to many different things. It can lead to stress, it could lead to depression, it could lead to anxiety, it could lead to uneasiness in your own situation that you might not be able to get out of. Maybe the narcissistic behavior is happening within a friendship or a relationship or a family member. Maybe it's something that you can't exactly run away from. We need to learn how to deal with it without trying to change it. And that's the hard thing, right? Because when we finally realize, and if you watch a video like this and you finally realize, okay, well, now I know what this person is doing and why they're being like this, now I want to attack and now I want to approach them about it. That is the hard thing. You can't approach the person. You cannot approach the person about this because they're not going to want to change, because what they are doing and how they're being and what they're acting like is familiar to them. And even if it's wrong, they're not going to be able to take responsibility for how they're being because they can never see themselves as wrong, because people and the trauma that they've been through and their situations of invalidation does not allow them to take responsibility for how they're being, because they've been told that they're being a certain way their entire lives, most likely. Some things that these types of people do when they're not able to get control over a situation is they will apologize without changing their behavior. So maybe they will say, hey, like, I'm sorry for how I'm being right now. And, I'm sorry for this, I'm sorry for that. And yeah. Okay, cool. They'll gaslight you, but then they won't change how they're being. They'll apologize, but they won't change how they're being. Another way that they could do this is emotional manipulation. Hey, I don't like what you're doing, and it's because it's affecting me in this way. It's creating a situation because they know that they don't have a situation that's there, but they want to create one so that once you get yourself riled up enough, it affects you to the point where you retaliate, and then they have something to use against you. These types of people want control. They want full control over you and your life and anything that has to do with you and them and anything that's tied to them. Because once they lose control, they start to lose themselves. And sometimes you can't exactly escape these people. Let's just say this is a family member. Let's just say this is somebody that you live with. Let's just say this is somebody that you are constantly going to be around. Maybe it's somebody at work. You can't exactly control this person, and this person is always going to have these outbursts, and they're going to notice when you start to notice. They're either going to do two things. They're going to move away and run away because you realizing and you knowing that this is a distressor so much, and you not allowing it to take advantage or allowing it to stress you as much. They're going to notice that, and it's going to make them run away, and it's going to make them move away, and it's going to make them try to avoid being within your bubble as much as possible. Or they're going to stay there and try to pick at whatever they can pick at and have stages of outrage and stages of rage. Now, you can't react to these stages of rage because at the end of the day, this person cannot change, and it really sucks if you love this person or if you care for this person. But if you care for this person or love this person enough, you have to be able to stand back and say, I can love you and I can have care for you, but I could do it from a distance because I'm not going to allow your behaviors and how you are being affect how I am being. Because you're never going to let, and you should not let, your external environment affect your internal being and your external environment includes the people who are in it. Sometimes these people will go to the extremes. They'll make false accusations about how you're being because they want you to be lit up. They want you to get upset. They want you to, because at the end of the day, it gives them fuel for their own happiness. It gives them fuel for their own fire. They want you to react. They want you to speak. They want you to be a certain way. But once you do, you need to realize that you're giving into them and you're giving them energy. You have to think about it. You got to protect your energy. I've spoken about this in a video before. Protect your energy. If you don't protect your energy and you let your energy escape and you let your battery go down, eventually your battery is drained. You're not going to have enough juice in you to run yourself because you gave it to somebody else. You gave all that energy, you gave all that juice, you gave all that battery to somebody else because you let them use you. Hard truth. Really sucks to sit with, but it's reality. So how do you live with, deal with, and go through being around a narcissistic person? You understand and you realize and you take the responsibility of the fact that you're taking responsibility. You understand that what you're doing and how you're being most likely and probably isn't wrong. And there probably isn't anything wrong with how you're being or what you want to do or what you're saying. There probably isn't a single thing wrong with it. And once you realize that, you need to start putting all the energy that you've put into this other person and all the energy that you've put into trying to make this person understand you and all the energy that you've put into trying to make this person respect you. You need to put all that energy back into yourself. You need to start respecting yourself. You need to start putting that energy back into you and into what makes you happy. Do not let this person affect your happiness, because once it does, that is you allowing them to affect your life and you allowing them to get energy out of you and then draining the energy out of yourself. You can't even take advantage of the energy that you once had because all that energy was fueled to their fire and made it ignite. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.